Hello! How are we doing tonight? Welcome! Let's just address the elephant in the room right away. I know what some of you are thinking. You look at me, you look at my hair, you look at my posture, and you say to yourselves, another guy who peaked in 1998. And you know what? Fair. Completely fair. I am officially in that magical age bracket where my lower back hurts for no reason and my upper back hurts because I had the audacity to sleep horizontally. I woke up yesterday and my neck made a sound like a wet cardboard box being crushed. I didn't fall off a cliff. I didn't wrestle a bear. I rolled over to check the time. That's it. My body filed a formal complaint against me just for changing sides in bed. It's a weird place to be, being between 35 and 65. We are the bridge generation. We are the last people on Earth who remember what it was like to look up a phone number in a physical book, but we are also expected to know what an NFT is. My nephew tried to explain NFTs to me last Christmas. He sat me down with the patience of a kindergarten teacher and said, "Uncle, listen, it's digital art. It's on the blockchain. You don't physically own it, but everyone knows it's yours." I looked at him and said, "Son, I have a mortgage. I don't even physically own the kitchen I'm standing in, and the bank knows that is mine. I am not spending $3,000 on a digital cartoon monkey that looks like it got hit by a truck." He looked at me like I was a caveman. "You just don't get the future, Uncle." And I said, "You're right, I don't. Because in my future, if I buy something, I can drop it on my foot and cry. That's real value." Everything is digital now, isn't it? Everything has an app. I went to a restaurant last week, a nice restaurant. I sat down at the table. There was no menu, just a little square piece of plastic glued to the wood with a black and white pattern on it, a QR code. I'm staring at it like it's an alien artifact. The waiter comes over, young kid, looks like he's 12, wearing clothes that look like they survived a fire. He says, "Hi, welcome. Just scan the code to see the menu, order, and pay right through your phone." I looked at him and said, "Listen to me, young man. I came here to be served by human beings, not to hack into your lunchbox. If I wanted to use a spreadsheet to eat a sandwich, I'd stay at the office." He just blinked at me. "Do you want me to bring a paper menu?" "Yes, please, and bring it on papyrus if you have it, because I want to feel the weight of my impending financial ruin." We've outsourced everything to technology under the illusion of convenience. Have you tried to buy a home appliance lately? You can't just buy a washing machine anymore. You buy a supercomputer that occasionally does laundry. I bought a new fridge a few months ago. It has a screen on the front, a touch screen. Why does my refrigerator need an internet connection? What is it browsing? Is it checking out the freezer down the street? Yesterday I'm standing in my kitchen and my fridge starts beeping. Just a soft, passive-aggressive beep. I walk over. The screen says, "Warning, ice maker door is ajar." I closed the door. Then the fridge sent a notification to my phone. Then it emailed my wife. My house is gossiping about me behind my back. My refrigerator is telling my wife that I'm bad at closing doors. Next week, my toaster is going to call couples therapy. And don't get me started on smart homes. My neighbor has a fully automated house. He invited me over to show it off. We're standing in his living room, drinking a beer, and he's shouting commands into the ether. "Alexa, dim the lights to 30%. The lights dim. It's very cool. Then he says, "Alexa, play smooth jazz." Smooth jazz starts playing softly from the ceiling. I'm standing there thinking, okay, this is the future. We live in Star Trek. And then my neighbor's Wi-Fi drops. Suddenly the lights go to maximum blinding brightness, the music stops, and the automated blinds snap shut like a guillotine. We are standing in dead silence, bathed in fluorescent terror, trapped in a house that has locked us out because the internet router in the garage is having an existential crisis. My neighbor starts punching the wall, shouting, "Open, damn you!" I just stood there and thought, this is what the machines win with? Not lasers, not Terminators, just terrible software updates and router resets. God, I miss the 90s. Life made sense in the 90s. If something broke, you fixed it with a screwdriver and blind optimism. If your car wouldn't start, You popped the hood, looked at a bunch of mysterious metal parts, pretended you knew what a carburetor was, tapped something with a wrench and yelled, "Try it now, honey!" And miraculously, it started. If you try to open the hood of a modern car, there is a giant plastic cover that says, "Do not look under here. Do not touch. Do not think about looking. If you open this, the car will self-destruct and void your soul's warranty." You can't even change your own windshield wiper fluid without a software patch from Germany. And our health. Oh, let's talk about our health, because everyone in this room between 35 and 65 is currently lying to themselves about what they eat. When I was 20, I could eat a pizza at 2 in the morning, wash it down with a 2-liter bottle of soda that glowed in the dark, wake up at 7, run a marathon, and cure cancer. Now, if I look at a piece of garlic bread after 8 p.m., my body initiates a multi-organ protest. I wake up the next morning feeling like I swallowed a bag of gravel and a live raccoon. I went to the doctor recently for a checkup. The doctor is this young kid, looks like he's 12, probably graduated from medical school via TikTok tutorials. He looks at my blood work, looks at me, sighs, and says, "Well, Frank, your cholesterol is a bit high. You need to cut back on saturated fats, avoid processed sugar, and maybe incorporate some kale into your routine." I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Listen to me, doctor. I'm at an age where I no longer care about longevity if it means eating leaves. If kale is the secret to living to 90, I'll take 85 and a plate of bacon. Don't threaten me with a long life of dietary punishment." He didn't laugh. Young people don't have a sense of humor about mortality because they think they're immortal. They haven't yet reached the age where you start reading the obituary page in the morning just to check if you won the race against your high school classmates. Have you started doing that? Be honest. You open the local paper, or you go online, and you look at the names. It's like fantasy football for middle-aged people. Oh wow, Dave from algebra passed away. Damn. Well, my blood pressure was lower than his on Tuesday, so I'm still leading the league. It's morbid, but it's real. Because at our age, time starts moving like a freight train. Remember when you were a kid and summer vacation lasted 400 years? You'd go outside in June, play in the dirt, build a fort, come home, and it was still 1994. Now, you blink and it's a new decade. I blinked in January and suddenly it's autumn, taxes are due, and I'm wondering where the last 12 years went. I was cleaning out my garage last weekend and I found a box of old stuff from high school. Actual physical items. Cassette tapes. Do you remember cassette tapes? Do you remember the absolute physics required to fix a tangled tape with a Bic pen? That wasn't music listening, that was engineering. If the tape got chewed up by the deck, you had to perform open-heart surgery on a plastic rectangle while sweating bullets because that was your only copy of the Nirvana album. And now kids have Spotify. They have 40 million songs available instantly, anywhere in the world, in CD quality. Do you think they appreciate it? No. They skip a song after 4 seconds because the intro wasn't explosive enough. If we had 40 million songs in 1995, we would have lost our minds. We sat by the radio for 3 hours with a cassette recorder, waiting for the DJ to stop talking so we could hit record on our favorite song. And then right at the end, bam, the DJ goes, "That was the new hit," and ruins the whole track. And we kept that tape. We cherished it. We listened to that ruined song on repeat because it was ours. We had to work for our entertainment. Now everything is handed to us. Dating apps. Oh, don't get me started on modern dating. I have single friends in their 40s who are on these apps, and it sounds like a nightmare factory. Back in my day, if you liked someone, you had to use a terrifying high-stakes human interaction strategy known as talking to them in person. You'd walk up to a human being, your palms would sweat, your heart would beat out of your chest. You'd say something completely idiotic like, "Do you like pencils?" And if they didn't run away screaming, that was a successful first date. Now? My friend shows me his dating profile. It's like a corporate resume. He has 5 photos, carefully angled to hide his chin, a bio written by a professional copywriter, and a list of his top 5 emotional boundaries. He swipes left on a woman because her bio says she likes pineapple on pizza. I told him, "Look, man, when I was dating, if a woman breathed oxygen and didn't have an active felony warrant, we considered that a strong match." Now people are out here looking for a soulmate with the exact same credit score, dietary restrictions, and political alignment down to the municipal subcommittee level. No wonder everyone is single. You're not looking for a partner. You're looking for an exact clone who won't challenge your worldview or use the wrong spatula in the kitchen. And marriage. If you've been married for more than 10 years, you know that romance changes. Romance at 20 is candlelight dinners, poetry, and walking on the beach at sunset. Romance at 50 is your wife looking at you across the living room and saying, "Did you remember to lock the back door?" And you nodding silently because you both know that is the highest form of intimacy left to humanity. My wife and I have reached a level of communication where we don't even need words anymore. I can look at her across a crowded room at a boring family dinner, give her a very specific twitch of my left eyebrow, and she instantly translates it to, "If we don't make up an emergency excuse to leave in the next 7 minutes, I am going to commit a federal crime." That is true love. That is romance. Forget Paris. Give me a shared look of mutual exhaustion at a cousin's birthday party. So yeah, maybe we don't understand TikTok. Maybe we call every video game console the Nintendo, no matter if it's a PlayStation 5 or a microwave. Maybe we use too many ellipses when we text our kids because we think it makes us sound mysterious, but it actually just makes us look like we're having a stroke. But you know what? We're still here. We survived dial-up internet, bell-bottoms, low-rise jeans, Y2K, and the transition from physical media to invisible clouds of data. We are the generation that remembers when phones had cords attached to the wall like a leash. But we survived long enough to carry supercomputers in our pockets that we mostly just used to look at videos of cats falling off couches. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Thank you all so much. You've been an amazing crowd. My name is Frank. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, mostly because I still don't fully understand what it does, but my grandson told me my life depends on it. Good night.